Coming up on this edition of Lubbock ISD Today, it takes two. With the 2028 Olympics on the horizon, Long Beach is gearing up to help host.
Plus, a longtime beach hotel is set to reopen in style.
And our team of journalists have gone out and found stories of teamwork and partnership, showing that we are stronger in numbers.
We bring you the local news that matters to you.
But this time,
in sunny Long Beach, California.
You're watching the 25th episode of Lubbock ISD Today.
Good morning, Lubbock. As you can see, we've made it to the Golden State, where we will be joining the 2024 Student Television Network Convention.
And here we have reporters all across town bringing us the latest news from the LBC and what the locals are talking about now. The city of Los Angeles is set to host the 2028 Olympics, but as we heard before, it takes two. Long Beach will host multiple events over the course of the Summer Games. And happening right now, construction is underway at the Marine Stadium, as they will be merging the Colorado Lagoon to help prepare for the rowing competition.
If you plan on attending these Summer Games, there will be a new but familiar hotel for fans from all over the world to stay in, as it will reopen as the Fairmont Breakers Hotel, becoming the first ever luxury boutique hotel here in Long Beach. It was a $150 million renovation that will make it a staple here for time to come.
Another staple here in California is the weather. Elena Lucera joins us today with the forecast.
Elena, how we looking?
Hello, this is your look at weather, except today we'll be having two forecasts. One for our viewers at home in Lubbock, Texas, and one here for our viewers in Long Beach, California. Starting with Lubbock, today you'll notice we'll be having partly cloudy skies with highs in the low 70s and lows in the 40s, but this sunshine will be short-lived. Friday and Saturday, there will be light precipitation and cooler temps, but Sunday, those clouds will start to clear for the following week. Perfect for when we come back into town. From West Texas to the West Coast and Long Beach today, we'll see clear skies, highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s. And on Friday and Saturday, highs will also be in the 60s. So, to our fellow competitors, I hope you packed a jacket. And on Saturday, it looks to be much of the same, with partly cloudy skies and the same temperature drop.
Very similar forecasts. I would think that's unusual.
I would too. Of course, transportation is not unusual.
The city of Long Beach has multiple ways to get around, but as you're about to see, it takes a team.
Thank you, Gus and Riley. Everything balanced in life comes in twos. Think yin and yang, the sun and the moon. But for the city of Long Beach, balance comes in a different form.
Thanks for going Metro.
Transportation is an everyday part of many people's lives, and Long Beach makes transportation both accessible and environmentally friendly.
Long Beach is really great about making public transportation really accessible for everybody. And what's really nice is they're about, respect.
From rentable bikes to the metro, public transportation is one of the most environmentally friendly options from getting from point A to point B.
There's times I gotta go to LA and you're cutting through so much traffic. It's really cool. Long Beach just supports everything. Supports bike riding, supports the transit system, supports the metro.
With how connected the city has become through the metro and other transportation services, it's easy to say, for balance in Long Beach, it takes me, it takes you, it takes two.
When it comes to transportation, Long Beach has it all.
It really does. And still to come on Lubbock ISD Today, we get tuned in.
There are many trending things happening here in Long Beach, and you'll catch it all here on Lubbock ISD Today.
There you guys are. And with that, we're back. We're here enjoying our spring break in Long Beach at the 2024 STN Convention.
Students from all over the country are here to compete and learn.
On the first day of being here, our students have learned that it takes a team to get things done.
feel like whenever we collaborate on like a project or anything, I'm getting photos of my skateboarding, he's getting to capture his photography, which I kind of feel like it boosts both of us.
Understanding what both of us are doing and understanding what both of us are trying to achieve and figuring out, hey, how can I move up the ladder and also be helping you along the way? Like, how could we both be helping each other as we're both growing?
Combined effort and collaboration. Like, everyone's effort has to add up to a larger effort.
What I was struggling from was like the compositions, because I want to get that building in the background too. I'd say as it comes to teamwork, yeah, the biggest thing is just understanding and putting your needs, understanding what your needs are, and then also understanding the needs of the teammates around you and seeing how you could work all together to bring each other up, right?
Telling the stories on the people and communities here in Long Beach has been so fun to do.
And that's a perfect transition for our next segment, as Hannah Gilchrist tunes us in on what you should do if you are visiting Long Beach. Hannah?
Hello and welcome to Tuned In Long Beach Edition. As a tourist myself, I needed to know what was trending here in Southern California. So I grabbed my best friend Evelyn and we went exploring. Here's what we found. Firstly, Long Beach landmark, the Queen Mary ship, has just reopened after 3 years of some much needed repairs and after the pandemic. Evelyn and I just happened to be staying in the hotel this weekend and word has it, it's haunted. But Evelyn and I are stronger in numbers, so I don't think any ghosts will be visiting us tonight. Evelyn and I went asking around all yesterday to find the best spots to hang out and eat some good food. And every answer was to go to 2nd Street to visit the open-air lifestyle retailers and restaurants. So Evelyn and I sat down this morning at one of the hottest spots in town on 2nd Street, the Breakfast Republic, an innovative breakfast destination that many young locals and visitors have taken a liking to, as brunch spots and bars have grown in popularity. And of course, Evelyn and I had to check out what the California fashion scene has to offer. But surprisingly, when we walked into our favorite stores, all we saw was Texas. With the influx of country events and concerts like the Coastal Country Jam in Long Beach and popular artists like Beyonce releasing country music, cowgirl culture has migrated all the way to the West Coast. So when Evelyn and I arrived in Long Beach in our southern clothes, we look like a power fashion duo. And that's your look at Tuned In. You, Evelyn, and I are now ready to take on Long Beach together.
And now we're tuned in. Thanks so much, Hannah.
And Riley, as much as it hurts to say, I think it's time we close out our show.
Well, thank you all for watching. We couldn't have done this without you.
We all thank you from Lubbock ISD Today.
Well, that was our Long Beach edition. They did a great job.
Our Long Beach team had 8 hours to produce the newscast in a city where we aren't from.
They did so good, but now we turn the page and focus on here at home, and we start with Hardwick Elementary. As just yesterday, they celebrated World Down Syndrome Day by wearing blue and yellow. They did this to recognize a few of their awesome students and the counselor's son. What an awesome day for the great students at Hardwick.
And before the spring break, our Broncos from Bean Elementary celebrated the end of the 9 weeks with a one-of-a-kind hands-on day learning. The students created different masterpieces with make-to-do tools, cardboard, jewelry, and masks to celebrate their hard work. But sprinkled into the fun was test prep for their upcoming STAR test. So it was so fun to see the different ways our students are learning and preparing for the big test.
I agree, and sticking with our elementary schools, and right before the break, McCorder Elementary hosted their annual science fair, but a little bit of a twist. As you can see here, it looks like a traditional science fair, but the 5th grade dual language students were challenged to do these experiments for the Bilingual Research Center, putting a little extra pressure on these already great projects to be even better.
So our experiment was about what earth grows plants better. The one that worked the best was soil, and that is because it's the most absorbent one out of clay and sand.
And we want to say thank you to the University Medical Center for continuing to help Brown Elementary. UMC delivered 140 snack bags to the campus before spring break. UMC did this so that the Buffaloes would be prepared their time away from school.
We love having UMC as a partner. Again, they love on our families, they love on our teachers, and especially our kiddos. And so this food bag that they take home, I wish you guys could feel it, it's so heavy. And so we're so excited that they get to snack on and have this over their spring break, because again, at school we get a breakfast, lunch, and even a dinner. And so this is just something helpful for our families.
Of course, we're just getting back from spring break, and so we will have so much more to share with our district.
Wait, we aren't done yet. We still have our newest segment, as we touch base with some other things over at social media today.
You know what? You're right. This new segment has been a big hit, and so without further ado, Elena, what do you have for us today?
How's it going, everyone? And we are back right after spring break to bring you everything that our district posted on social media. Are you ready? Let's get it. Woot woot! The Owls love that the Monterey Plainsmen baseball team came to Miller to read to them and hang out as they look up to these awesome Plainsmen. And we strike up the band as we are celebrating our band directors, and we want to say thank you for guiding our students as they make beautiful music. Looking to find your path? Well, over at Irons, they are setting up the Cougars for success as they took their avid students to Lubbock Christian University for a college visit. Over at McWhorter, DJ Star hung out with their dual language third graders as they reviewed for their reading star test. I bet they did so well. And hey, who's hungry? Students at OL Slayton in Miss Brown's 6th grade science class learned all about plate tectonics. She expanded their understanding with the use of snooker bars. And just a few days ago, it was National Ag Day. Agriculture makes up a large part of our community, and we are excited to celebrate alongside all our great industry partners, educators, and students. And that's your look at round one of social media today. We will be back soon with the second look at our district's social media posts. But until then, peace.
And we can't wait for that.
No, we can't, but now we have to head to break. And so, still to come on this edition of Lubbock ISD Today, we head on over to Gameplay, where we highlight a game where students took on the teachers in a fundraiser volleyball game.
But first, we get an update on weather, tuned in, and another round of social media today.
So stick around because we will be right back before you know it.
LISD TV will return after this short break.
James doesn't know it yet, but he's the next big model. Maybe not that type of model, but when you see it, you see it. I guess James is learning how to be on camera in more ways than one.
Every week here at this station we have special days, like Friday is show day, but Tuesdays have taken on its own special meaning.
All right, everyone, get a tie. It's Tie Tuesday.
Mr. Ward is all about teaching life skills, but for some students, it gets them all tied up in knots. While for others, it's gotten a little excessive.
I started a tie collection, but things got a little excessive.
Hey, that is terrific.
These puns are terrible, but at least we're ready for our future interviews.
Lincoln wears his headphones a lot, and I kind of wonder what kind of music he's listening to.
You're right. I wonder what he's listening to.
Heavy metal?
Rock?
Check it out, it's time to rock, it's time to rock.
Hey, what if he likes indie music?
Or country?
I'm just a country boy from Tennessee.
Rap?
Maybe we should just go ask him ourselves.
I don't see why not. Hey Lincoln, what are you listening to?
Barbie girl.
I'm a boss. This is my glory. I'ma do it right. All day long. Uno, dos, tres.
Welcome back to the episode 25. It's a huge milestone for an incredible show, and we're so glad that you're here with us.
And speaking of incredible, let's hear about the amazing things going on with social media today.
Take it away, Elena.
And And with that, we are back. We are super excited to bring to you round 2 of Social Media Today as we continue to showcase the great things our schools post on social media. And it's that time of year again. Our schools are posting all their Teacher of the Year and Paraprofessional of the Year awards. At Waters Elementary, they celebrated 2 magnificent educators. Working over spring break, these students at McCool showed the most growth on their IXL data over spring break and were celebrated with a special lunch in the courtyard. And way to go, Westerners! The esports team was proud to announce they received 2nd place on their HSEL for their performance at the National Apex Tournament. We have a surprise at Lubbock High. The mariachi serenaded Associate Principal Miss Sadia with a beautiful birthday song. What a great moment that the students shared with their administrator. And finally, our schools continue to rock. A big theme across the board this week, hanging out with DJ Star, our students are ready for the big test coming up. And once again, we wish them all the best. And remember, if you want to see your schools on social media today, just tag us in your post, and it's a guarantee that you are on next week's segment.
Thanks so much, Elena. Well, from getting filled in on the district to getting filled in on Tuned In the World.
That's right, Alana gets us tuned in after spring break.
Thanks so much, Diara and Sierra. It's been a few weeks since our last tuned in, and so we have a lot to catch up on. So let's get into it. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Chicken.
I don't know, because this is definitely a turkey, but one confused Florida deputy at a traffic stop was clearly convinced otherwise. Police deal with foul play all the time, but this St. Johns County officer must not have run afoul of a wild turkey before, because this pesky poultry clearly had him perplexed as he tried to do his job, first quacking at the thing like a duck.
Quack. Oh, man.
It clearly did not like that. Then he egged it on by repeatedly mistaking it for a chicken.
Somebody better come get that chicken. Quack. I'm getting attacked by a chicken right now.
I don't know what it is with officers and birds these days. Just last week, another pair of tenacious turkeys forced another pair of traffic cops in Ohio to fly the coop. But in his defense, this deputy stood his ground and finished the stop, not letting some encroaching, clucking, turducken, or whatever keep him from doing his duty. Now, from a bird that's mean to a river gone green. Hope everyone had a St. Patrick's Day celebration to remember. Thousands turned out in Chicago, Illinois to take in a nearly 70-year-old annual tradition where local officials took the Chicago River with a great deal of dye in tow, turning the Windy City waterways emerald green. To enhance the St. Patty's Day scene, the yearly celebration is orchestrated by the Chicago Plumbers Union, which says, amazingly enough, the dye mixture actually starts out orange, but once it hits the water, it fades to the shade of jade that made the day famous. Must be the luck of the Irish.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
An emotional Michael Shaw reunited with his prized possession.
They're in very good shape.
Fabulously famous red slipper worn by Judy Garland in The Wizards of Oz are back on display in the actress' hometown of Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Their owner, Shaw, got to see the slipper again for the first time in 2 decades during a ceremony at the Judy Garland Museum.
I haven't seen it in years.
The collectibles worth $3.5 million were taken from the museum back in 2005. Fast forward, the shoes were recovered in 2018, and finally in January of this year, 76-year-old Terry John Martin pledged guilty and was sentenced for the crime. This cleared the way for Shaw to meet his movie moment once again. The shoes will go on tour before being sold at auction later this year. Well, where do we go from here? How about to the biggest plane in the history of aviation? That's what a Colorado-based energy startup says it is building. The company released concept art for the Windrunner airplane designed to deliver massive turbines for onshore wind farms. It is so big, some are calling it Skytanic. It will have a massive wingspan of 261 feet and a 272,000 cubic foot cargo bay, big enough to hold 3 Olympic swimming pools. And that's your look at Tuned In. A bunch of weird stuff happening this week, but we got a chance to catch up and get tuned in. Am I right?
Wow, It feels great to get tuned in again. What was your favorite part of the segment?
I think the ruby slippers were the best. There's truly no place like home.
I know that's right. And on that note, I hear that being at home is the best place to be when the weather is coming up. Is that right, Aubrey?
Couldn't have said it better myself, Diego, but welcome to the weather. With myself, Aubrey Noble, and I am excited to share with you what is coming up this week and upcoming weeks. So let's get straight into it. We start off with today's forecast, getting to a low of 50, with a highest of 68. It's been sunnier today than we've been seeing in recent days, worst of our worries being cloudiness, maybe a little bit of rain, and hopefully stays that way. It's been a bit windier recently, today minorly included, so keep that in mind as you get out into this windier weekend. And speaking of that weekend, we push on to it. Starting off a bit colder and a bit cloudier on Saturday with a low of 57 and a high of 72. On Sunday, it warms up just a bit, the most notable thing being some drastic wind speeds, getting up to as high as 25 miles per hour. So if you have long hair, sorry about you. And as for the temps throughout Sunday, we have a low of 51 and a high of 75. A bit warmer, but still, watch out for that wind chill. And hold on tight to those umbrellas if that cloudiness turns into rain. Then we finish up with next week, starting off with much colder weather with low 40s and 30s through Monday and Tuesday and high 60s through those days as well. Then picks up slow but steady with just about the same lows, but highs of high 60s and mid 70s. The wind will be sticking around the same as Sunday, around 20 miles per hour, a bit more tame, but still, best hold on to those hats if you're going outside. With the weather being wetter, be careful of potentially slippery roads and mid-humidity. Other than that, let's take it back to the desk with Diego and Sierra.
Thank you for the weather, Aubrey, and I can speak for everybody. Not too excited for that wind.
I'm not going to enjoy that too much either.
Another thing that we aren't looking forward to is that we're going to have to go to break really quickly. And so, still to come on this edition of Lubbock ISD Today, we time out with Mr. Ward. But first, we head on over to gameplay. We have some athletes leaping over the bar and setting personal bests. So don't leave just yet, as we'll be right back after this.
In the 5th and 6th period second year class, we all have nicknames. Except Sierra. And believe me, we've really tried.
How about Cece's?
Nope.
Or just Sleepy.
How about Siesta?
That's rude. What? Sometimes it makes things a little bit awkward.
Boys and Angels?
Captain.
Abraham?
Captain.
LeBron?
Captain.
Flash?
Captain.
Trina?
Captain.
J-Dub?
Captain.
2 words?
Captain.
Sierra?
You know, hopefully someday we'll find the right nickname.
Daydreamer.
No.
When I grow up, I want to be a zookeeper so I can take care of animals. I want to be a heart surgeon. I love how the heart operates.
A lot harder than it looks, isn't it?
I would like to be a doctor because I can help people.
I would like to be a marine biologist when I grow up.
I want to be a lawyer.
I'm gonna get an education.
I'm going to get an education, going to medical school,
and I'll get my degree.
Hello and welcome to Into Gameplay. I'm James Pennington, a junior from Monterey High School. In sports, they say hard work pays off. And for this Lady Plainsman, it has paid off. Alina Chavez has added a couple of more amazing accomplishments to her already stacked resume by averaging 38 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. She has been named Texas Gatorade Player of the Year, Max Preps Player of the Year, featured on the Slam magazine cover, and many, many, many more. Needless to say, congrats to Alina Chavez. Now, let's dive on into the deep end. Coach Trey Hayes has done it again. Recently, he was tabbed as the 23-2 Reason 158 Coach of the Year by the Texas High School Coaches Association. He and his team has set a culture of excellence in the swim program, and so this is a well-deserved award. Congrats, Coach. And happening right now, our baseball and softball teams are in full swing as they are both competing in the district play. But even more exciting, we have started our coverage of the season. We had our first game. It was this past Tuesday as Estacado defeated San Angelo Lakeview 10-8, and we have another game out at Coronado. So make sure to tune in as we bring you baseball and softball coverage that you can count on. And over at the home of the Matadors, Estacado had a students versus teacher volleyball game to fundraise for the class of 2024. This event was open to all Estacado students and only cost $1 to enter. After a back and forth intense game, it was the students that were out with the controversial win. Anytime there's a game like that, there is always some controversy.
Definitely, those are the best games.
A great way to help the senior class.
Thanks for keeping us up to date with sports, James.
You're welcome.
And still to come on the 25th edition of Lubbock ISD Today, we end the show with Mr. Ward as he talks about something we're all so proud of.
That's right, so stay here as we have some more exciting news coming your way right after this.
Every holiday break, Alana's always in Vegas, and every time she comes back, there's something a little different about her.
Okay, we got a doubleheader tonight, a basketball game. Who's coming?
Ooh, I can't. I'm going to Vegas. I got 50 on Lincoln. Lincoln, 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 Lincoln!
We don't know at what point we should be concerned about her.
I can't lose money. Come on. No. Come on. No! I lost everything.
Gambling issue? You can get help. Call today.
Here in the afternoon class, we do everything pretty well. And honestly, I don't know how Sarah always keeps her composure.
Hey, I'm gonna go get something off the printer really quick.
Okay. Wow, I wonder how she can keep her calm.
This is bad. This is very, very bad. This is gonna blow up and be terrible. Okay, I need to work out.
But I guess we'll never really know what goes on inside of her head. Yeah, that's worse than I thought.
Welcome back to the final part of episode 25 on Lubbock ISD Today.
It has been an amazing show, but we are going to end it as we normally would with Mr. Ward. Take it away.
Well, team, thank you so much. And you know, there's a saying in news, don't bury the lead. And this week on Time Out with Mr. Ward, I'm timing out to say I buried the lead. The lead is that our show won Broadcast Excellent, but not just regular broadcast excellence, the gold standard. Last month, we submitted the 19th episode of this show to be judged for Excellence Awards. We could have gotten a bronze, a silver, or gold standard. They did it with the A, B, or C ratings, and we had the third highest ranking for a weekly scholastic newscast in the entire nation. Yeah, that's big time. It was a top 5 moment in my teaching career. I'll be honest with you. I was so proud of everyone on this team, and I still am. We're still raising the bar and still setting the standard for a weekly news show, and I'm so proud of that. Now that's me, Mr. Ward, timing out on Lubbock ISD Today. Team, I'm going to send it back to you at the desk.
Ward, thank you so much for that. We're all so proud.
Like he said, it was not just the state, but the entire nation. And so that's awesome.
Yeah, and speaking of awesome, let's hear from our official voice of the show one more time as Aubrey joins us again for final weather. Let's take a look at it, Aubrey.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome, but let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Start of the forecast looks a bit warm, and you can see the temps start slowly dropping to cooler weather, ending with highs below 70. With quite the windy day that comes up on Friday. few days with a chance of rain, which I honestly hope will happen. The weather sounds like last week, so be sure to promptly prepare for that weather.
Yeah, the weather crazy recently, and I guess we'll just have to wait to see where it takes us.
That's right. And as much as it hurts to say it's about time we close out today's show. Thank you so much for sticking around. We couldn't do it without you.
And please remember to visit our social media pages for great content and info. And with nothing else to add, have a wonderful day.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.